All right, another update on the air ride on the 379 Peterbilt. We finally got some of our parts, and I've been busy doing everything else I normally do and trying to get this done, so that's why it's taking a little longer than normal. So I figured this would be a good opportunity to give a little update of what's going on here. We got our 389 springs on. Hangers are moved back. We have our new wide track front axle in place. It is not a car hauler axle. It's only a 3.5 inch drop axle, not a 5. Just got these backing plates back on, brake chambers, got the bags all set in place, drilled the holes for the bags, for the brackets up top. We'll go to the other side and take a look at what's going on. Pretty much same thing. So like these bolts are facing outward. You have hoses and stuff on the back side of this frame rail that you really don't want these bolts wearing into. So that's why those bolts are like that. Next thing tomorrow, God willing, if nothing gets in my way, we'll get spindles on. Get the brakes on, get the spindles on, get the drums on, get this thing back on the wheels, and get some weight on the axle. And before I even plumb the system, I'm going to just air up the bags and see where things fall. One thing I did differently than most people do is I put blocks in between my springs and my axle. So it's a little easier to look at it on this side. So that is a 2-inch block. This truck originally had a 3-inch block, 3 to 3.5 inch. There's a taper, like a 1/2 inch taper for pitch. I actually cut that block straight to 2 inches because the way the angle is on your new spring is pretty well straight from your pin compared to the old factory spring that has a hard taper, and then where your axle actually mounts, it's pretty flat, which it's a little different here. So straight 2-inch block, shims in place, and then we mounted the bags. Now we're going to see how that works, see where it rides. We might adjust that up, down, I don't know. So main reason for all that, this truck has standard air leaf suspension. So anybody familiar with Peterbilt's standard air leaf, much like air track suspension, rides about 3 inches higher than low air leaf suspension. So a lot of guys that are doing air rides are running some form of low air leaf, whether it's flex air, old low air leaf, or new, more modern low air leaf. So their trucks, the frames naturally sit lower than this truck. My big concern, not so much for the looks, but it puts a really hard angle on your rear drive shaft between your axles if you have your frame raked really hard like that. And we don't need to have driveline issues. This truck just naturally rides higher. So with the 2-inch block, I'm hoping to kind of keep it at more of a standard ride height. It's still going to drop down pretty hard when you air down the bags. It just won't go quite as low as a lot of trucks. So something different that you don't typically see, and that is going to be something that we may change. We're just going to try it and see how it works. So here's your new hanger. You see your hanger's back, your belly straps, brackets moves back. I do have to drill a hole for the shock yet. Your steering rod. So, yep, getting there. Should ride really nice when it's done. Hope so. It costs enough money, so. I'll take another video there when I get closer to done. Maybe I'll take a good video also of ride heights, just for everybody's reference. That's one thing you just don't see on the internet, is references of ride height. Like, everybody shows a picture of their truck on the ground, which is great, it's cool, but measuring the bumpers, where it's at sitting on the ground, ride height, and then an overinflate. And if overinflate gets me at a really good spot, maybe I'll shorten that block. I do have other U-bolts and other options for that, so I wanted to try that, see how it works. So it's a little different. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks, bye.